Welcome to the OMS3 practice pilot. As you can see that we've drilled down a number of different perspectives that we thought were important to run a large practice or even a single entity practice. So we start with collections, office performance, procedures, provider performance, referral offices and their performance, and then we call a custom screenshot or drill down that we'll actually get back to in a few minutes. So if you'd like to start with collections, you can expand in a one-click fashion and you will be able to see an aggregate of 57.96% of total collections. On any of these screens that we will be showing you through this demo, you're able to adjust to a number of different time periods, a number of different charts that actually track performance, columns, just different visualizations that allow you to see the performance of your office in a manner that you want to see it. Stacked area charts, and even stacked columns. And when you hover across any one of these particular data points, which we would call September, October, November, December alike, you'll be able to see the percentage of the numbers of that particular field, charges, payments, or adjustments, and you'll be able to see the month itself illuminated and the actual dollar amount. So I like to see this collection versus production and actually a different type of charting, and it would be a column. And that allows us to see the various comparisons of those charges, collections, and adjustments in a manner that lets us compare easily across a time span. You're able to also go into details. Simple one click. Every time we click a button, you'll be able to see a new report run. For instance, this page has 3 or 4 reports right here. Actually, it becomes double that because it shows you the percentage of the payments of your overall dollars. And it also lets you see from September to August, or we would call a 1-year snapshot, all of your charges, payments, and adjustments. And if you notice on the bottom here, you can see below each month the actual percentage ratio for those collections. Remember, you can always go to Office, and Office will show you your office performances, which shows us in this practice that we actually come from Pennsylvania Royal Maxillofacial Surgery. It's a 5 surgical center location. It allows us to be able to break down each individual office. All of this information is coming out of OMS3 in a manner that's seamless to you, the end user. When we launch this program, it's a desktop operation. You'll find it located down. I actually keep it loaded all the time, and it's constantly locating data and gathering data. So when I want to see the report and I click on a particular field, it's real-time data, which OMS3 is unable to actually deliver at this time. So you'll be able to see the total dollars produced in those offices and the percentage of business of your overall practice. For instance, Office 4 is $2,200,000 roughly and 20.62%. You're also able to see the top 10, up to top 10 procedures produced from these offices. That's interesting because they're able to see how your actual monies are broken down. So let's expand that. We'll show you how easy that is to do. We just expanded it. I like to see things in 3D. Visually, it's better for me. I just ran another 10, actually 20 different reports because I see the numbers and the percentage of business as you hover across each one. So I can go to Office 2. When I click that button, it will automatically populate the top procedures, top 10 procedures for that office. And I can see, if you'll notice, the collection ratio for Office 2 is 61%. If I look at Office 3, it's 61.91. But look at Office 9, or Office 1, excuse me, is 53%. So I'm able to see the overall percentage of the office and the top 10 procedures. Keep in mind, we can still see the monthly breakdown of anything we drill down upon. So let's look at, say, for instance, surgical extractions. We're able now to see, again, I like to see the 3D viewing. When we click surgical extractions or are impacted bonies, you're able to see the percentage of collections you'll find each month throughout whatever office you want to look at. So looking at Office 2, when we select impaction bonies, you'll be able to see Office 2, 53% is the overall, and the actual percentage individually by each month. So remember, this is 36 reports right here. There's another 10, and there's another 5 or 10 depending on your selection. So there's almost 50 reports in this one drill down. Be able to go out and look at referrals. We use this on a day-to-day basis as we do most of these components of the software. You're able to see your top 10 referrals across the bottom. You're able to see the referral with a color designator, the amount of money that's produced from that referral for the specific time period that you're looking at. Let's just set the chart time for 1 year. If there were a top 10 referrals, then we would effectively have just ran 120 reports that you're going to be able to visually see performance of. Remember, each report has the month that the report is gathered in, or that color block is measuring, and the dollar amount. On any time you see a dollar amount, you're able to activate your sort, go to patient count or procedure count, and you can change the chart instantly and run another 120 reports and actually trend the procedure counts that were done across those for the top 10 procedures of each one of your top 10 referrals. Or finally, you're able to sort by patient count. So you go back, patient count, there's another 120 reports, and it's that easy. You can go to Office and see your performance overall. So you'll be able to see your top 10 referrals, up to top 10 or all referrals. But we like to see things around our top 10. It gives us an idea who our top 10 referrals are currently for this practice, what percentage of business each one is, but more importantly, we can drill down instantly by the way that we've actually designed the software, and you'll be able to see the top 10 referrals in each one of the offices that you would own, besides your aggregate of your top 10 referrals. So that means that if you're operating out of this office, these will be the people that you would want to pay attention to and trend. So we can, by trending, we could change the chart type, change it to a spline, and look for data outliers. Anytime you see something that's not going across the norm, so if we're looking at the green referral or the Patrice Lenardi, we would be able to see that it's severely dropping down, while others, like the red and the gold one that are being exemplified here, are actually going up. So those would be 2 phone calls, the purple and the green, that I would be making a phone call to. And the phone calls, when they're going down, is you reach out to the front desk and you say, hey, just want to see how we're doing for you lately. Now, how's things been going? And usually you'll find that your referrals will share that information with you. For the ones that were going up, you have an equal opportunity to enhance your practice by calling and saying, hey, we just really wanted to thank you for the extra trust you've been showing us and letting us serve your patients. So this information is priceless. Anytime you can stop a referral from making a left turn on you, or thank a referral for an action that's near immediate, real time, they're going to be more sticky with you, and you're going to find that you're going to be able to serve them easier. So we can always change our charting back, one-click fashion, stack columns, and off we go. We can also take and drill down by procedure our top referrals and our top procedures. We're able to see what that actual referral gave us and what the top procedures were for that referral. You can see here they do a lot of business with implants over this time period, which would be 1 year. So we're looking apples to apples, 1 year to 1 year, and all of their business, mostly half or 54%, was, of course, Wizzies. We know that this referral is something that we want to pay attention to. So we can see how those wisdom teeth actually track across the year by coming over here, and we can look at this measurement always and hover across and check the dollar amount, or we can go back to our spline, which I find to be a indicative chart that would allow you to have charting points, as you can see here, or trending information. So I'm able to see the workflow coming from that referral, Dr. Weiss, with respect to wisdom teeth, but I can also see it with respect to general anesthesia, and that would be different than anything else that he could possibly send us. So those different trending points are important to you if you're going to market to that person. You could see someone else over here that might be far different. If you look at this referral or this referral, you can see how things actually change by the slices, which are indicative of the amount of work they send you. Their impactions drop to nearly 30% from their 60% or 50% from the chart prior of the other referral. So you're able to sort dynamically and run reports, hundreds of reports, in single clicks of a button. And then, of course, you are able to go back to your offices and pick out an individual referral. And we'll stick with Dr. Weiss. When you click that or activate it, it'll load your charts as to the office that that referral sends work to. You can also sort by the actual provider and see what work that referral sent to a specific provider. So now when you click it, you're going to see that's the work that was sent, that amount of money, or even procedure codes. So in all these, it gives you the ability to track things that are important to you, whether wisdom teeth are important or anything else, from general anesthesia to of course our dental implants. Going over to office performance, it's a dynamic tool and that'll allow you to track your providers. These are your doctors and how they perform, or your offices perform across a specific time period, whatever you choose it to be. It could be something as simple as 1 year, and that's an instant report with associated dollar amounts, or it can go as far as all available data. And you can trend your practice and its growth. And when you pick up a new doctor, as you can see as the purple when we joined another doctor or another office, depending on which chart you're going to pull. So offices performance does allow you to see how each one of your offices are performing or are carrying your overhead. You can, of course, break them out by office in a manner that you can say, now I can see by time period, 1 year. I can see what each dollar amount is produced in each office and what the actual percentage of overall dollars produced for the practice. I can select a particular office and I can trend what that dollar amount by changing the spline to either dollars. Of course, always when you see dollars, you can do patient count. And always when you see patient count, you can do dollars or procedure count. These charts are fully integrated, fully active, that when you illuminate or hit or hover upon any data point, you will illuminate whatever it is you are searching over to the left, procedure counts, or respectively back to dollars. But you can also trend in a particular office what provider is doing the most business in that office. So now I'm looking at my providers. I'm looking at the provider and his business in Office 3 and Office 2 predominantly. That provider produces 40% in Office 2 and 59% of his dollars are produced in Office 3. And now when you activate Office 3, you'll actually see the trending of the dollars produced by that provider. That, we have found, enables your providers to see themselves performing either by office because they know what office they're operating in, or by their workload itself, which you'll see more on the provider performance, which we're now going to segue into. Every time you see a chart like this, you'll be able to see in 3D fashion if you choose to, both two-dimensional or three-dimensional. You're able to see the providers, the amount of monies they produce for their practice, and their percentage of contribution. If you look at this ALK, he's 25% of the practice's revenue. TPN is 26, 27 is MAB, and 18 is JAH. And of course, we have a new doc, you notice by this small slice, which is measured at, right now, 2% of our practice, or $335,000. You can do comparisons by simply one-click fashions or one-click searches. I could see my providers, these are our providers of the practice, and how they produced each month of a specific year. 6 months, 1.5, 2, 4, 5, all available. And you can even exclude the current month or not exclude the current month. We find that when you're looking at the provider's performance here, nobody ever wants to be the person on the bottom. No one wants to be the green line, and no one wants to be the purple line. And we find that when you're able to see this business, it starts making the providers do more of what works and less of what doesn't, which means when you do show that you have a data outlier and somebody can use a phone call and that provider is responsible for that office and that referral, they pick the phone up a little quicker, or your staff does, which actually makes this tool intuitive because the staff starts using it, the staff starts commenting more about and looking at some of the uses for it to manage other portions of their business, and your business grows. When looking at individual offices, you're able to break each provider and their contribution up by office and across the offices by performance. And back to our summary page. The one thing that we thought that was really valuable for us with the top referrals on that front summary page, which again would be going back out, going to referral and clicking it, one click, is you would see that this measures your top 10 referrals. In developing the software, our programmer, our engineer, noticed that he thought there were patients actually he could measure with no referrals. And we thought that's not going to matter. We do 2 to 5% in our practice, a practice of 5 locations, and about $11 million is what we produce. We figure we're maybe 2%. When we clicked this and activated it, we found out that more than half of our business, sometimes 3/4 of it, which was unfathomable for us, was actually walk-in. And that really is when we started to get elegant with the software and find ways that would actually generate income for you. When you're able to hone down and figure out by month where walk-ins are coming from, and you would say, how do you do that? We created a custom screen. We activated a custom screen which was allowing us to see office performance by dollar amount and then clicking zip codes. And once we were able to break down those offices by zip code, then we were able to start seeing where the dollars were coming from the most by zip code. So we learned that these 2 zip codes right here, this one blue one is measuring $1.1 million or 26% of our business. This isn't an office, this is one zip code. So that then allowed us to drill down further and click that zip code and see what the top 10 procedures were in that zip code. And that's when we were able to start actually marketing our implants and marketing our wisdom teeth. And we were able to do that by finding out that that zip code happened to have a major thoroughfare that ran through it. And that thoroughfare, let's call it 95, Route 95, for us as a large thoroughfare, it was able for us to design a billboard, spend 1% only of our $1 million annually, and rent a billboard for $900 or $1,000 per a month, and actually advertise to people who were out shopping, who did start out, as you well know, with a toothache, going to a referral which was not ours, and somehow landing with us. So it allowed us to not only look at our monies to save monies when we're looking at things, but also to actually generate more income. And that makes this tool truly a intuitive product. So whether you're looking at your collections and the individual procedures that you're doing within those collections and trying to decide what you do that is actually more beneficial to your practice or less, by looking at the ratio that you actually produce in collecting those dollars, or just understanding that each office has a specific set of procedures. So if nothing else, our implants in this office for the year were $400,000, and implants in this office for the year were $300,000, and implants in our newest office happened to only be $100,000. So it tells us where we're able to actually market further business or maintain the relationships that we currently have in place because we're able to pay attention to them in a manner that allows us to see the referral and drill down to what is important to us from that referral. And once you're able to do that and isolate a referral and see what their trending patterns are, then you're able to actually effectively market to them because you can see the dollar counts or procedures are actually sending you. So this software is very, very dynamic in that it does allow you to make money and save money, direct your resources into months that are actually what we have found more productive for us. Is typical for the oral maxillofacial arena. You can see that most of our business is produced in these 3 months right here. August again, August here. But if you're able to actually see workflows in a one-click fashion and staff accordingly, whether it's overall as a practice or by individual procedures, then you're truly able to order more effectively, manage your personnel more effectively, and manage your outside relationships with your customer or your referral more effectively. Thank you. If you'd like any more information on the product, please feel free to call us at our 1-800 support number, which would be 1-888-352-1105. You would ask for your client relations director, which would be Megan O'Neill. You could ask for myself, Sean Wild. I am one of the co-founders and CEO of the company. And you can ask for Jules, who's our director of operations and IT liaison. You can reach us all at simply dialing 1-888-352-1105. Thank you so much for your time. We look forward to talking and working with you in the future.